So most men out there think that women want sex for obvious reasons. You know, all you have to do is make enough money, have the right body, say the right things, and tears will just roll down her thighs. But when you look at the psychology of sexual motivation, it is way more layered and complicated than that. In fact, researchers have found people report hundreds of different reasons for having sex. Everything from pure physical craving to emotional bonding to wanting to feel confident in their own skin. So today I'm going to break down the real reasons she wants to sleep with you using a framework that I teach my clients called the desire engines. And once you understand these engines, you can stop guessing. You can stop taking rejection personally, and you can get way better at creating the kind of intimacy that actually makes her want you more. But before we begin, a quick reality check for those of you who may be rolling your eyes right now, convinced that the 6'4" athlete doesn't really have to worry about these engines. Now, yes, of course, attraction matters, but attraction isn't one singular thing. And women's desire isn't a simple on-off switch that depends on your looks or height. Women's desire is often contextual, and it's influenced by a variety of things that we're going to get into. There's even a well-known model of sex research that emphasizes that for many women, desire is actually responsive, meaning that it shows up after the right kind of connection or cues or context, not always as some sort of spontaneous lightning bolt. So if you've ever thought to yourself, why was she so into it last night but not so much tonight? Or why does she say that she loves me but never initiates? Well, this video will break it all down, and I will teach you how to work with her engines of desire instead of against them. So let's start with engine number 1, the physical engine. Let's start with the one that everyone sort of assumes is the whole story. This is desire fueled by, you guessed it, the physical stuff. Attraction based on your looks, your smell, and your movement. But here's what I want you to hear. The takeaway is not that you need to look a certain way. Physical attraction is surprisingly multi-factor. It can be voice, it can be scent, it can be the way that you dance, it can be by the way that you look at her when you're fully present. I've coached men who were objectively attractive, but their sex life was still flat because they were tense, performative, and not actually present with their partner. I've also coached plenty of men who were not model hot, but their partner wanted them constantly because they created a physical experience that felt safe and playful and alive. You don't have to change your appearance to activate her physical engine. Sometimes it just comes down to the basics. Taking good care of yourself, sleep, hygiene, grooming. Showing up as a man who is proud of his appearance will make her more drawn to it. Bringing a sense of play and novelty into sex. Focusing on her sensations over your performance. Remember, sensations are all physical. And lastly, being present. And I mean indicating that presence with your body by making eye contact, by mirroring her, by paying attention to her reactions and letting that guide you, both in and out of the bedroom. All of these things activate her physical engine. Engine 2, the emotional engine. This is the engine that most men underestimate. This is desire that comes from feeling close and safe and cherished. It's what gets turned on when a woman feels truly seen and understood. You see this in sex research too. Rosemary Bassoon's model basically shows that for a lot of women, desire doesn't often show up first. It builds once there's connection and comfort and good stimulation. This is the kind of sex that comes from her wanting to feel close to you, to melt into you, to connect more deeply. One of the couples I worked with had a pattern where she only wanted sex on vacation, and he took it personally, like she wasn't attracted to him unless he booked flights. But when we looked closer, vacation was the only time that she wasn't managing 1,000 mental tabs. Work stress, family stress, daily life stress. When her nervous system finally softened, her desire returned. So the issue wasn't him, it was her bandwidth. In our work together, we found ways to keep her emotionally and mentally connected to him even through the grind of daily life. It also involved teaching them how to repair and reconnect quickly after conflict. I taught him how to be truly present with her, to reflect and listen and stay curious so she felt supported. And we prioritized small moments of closeness and intimacy that weren't only when he wanted sex. And sure enough, she started opening up and wanting sex more, even when they were at home. All right, next up is the one that gets misunderstood the most, the relational engine. It's basically how women desire sex in order to maintain and impact the relationship. Now let me be clear, this is not women using sex to manipulate men. It is something much more loving than that. The relational engine is where sex is motivated by the desire to nurture your bond, to maintain closeness, to restore connection after distance. In other words, for women, sex can be a form of relationship maintenance. They use it the same way that other couples use date nights or travel or inside jokes or rituals feels to stay close. And there's an important factor here to understand. Research on sexual motivation distinguishes between two different parts of the relational engine, whether it's motivated by approach or by avoidance. When your partner is motivated by approach, it means that she's coming from a place of wanting more closeness and pleasure and connection. But if she's motivated by avoidance, it means that she's doing it to avoid conflict or out of guilt or insecurity. Relational engine sex is healthy when it is approach-based and mutual, but it becomes harmful when it is avoidance-based, pressured, or used to cover up deeper issues. This is why it's so important to never pressure your partner into having sex or to make her feel like it's her responsibility. If she's doing it out of obligation, you're only getting farther and farther away from a reality where she actually wants to do it. If you want to stimulate her relational engine in a healthy way, focus on making yourselves feel like a team again. Have open conversations around what sex means to each of you. Make sure that she knows that your goal is to bring back desire, not simply to get laid. Which brings me to engine 4, the mental engine. Because how do you go about activating the relational engine? Well, this is where this engine comes in, which explains the I don't know why, but I just want you moments. The mental engine. This is when you fill her with confidence instead of self-monitoring, curiosity instead of anxiety, play instead of performance, or feeling chosen instead of evaluated. Women don't lose desire because their partner isn't attractive. They lose desire because sex starts to feel like a place where they're being measured or pressured or invisible. One thing about the mental engine is that it loves permission. Permission to be messy and wild or soft or slow or loud or quiet, whatever is true for her. I once coached a man who was always asking his partner things like, was that good? Did you finish? Do you like this? And he thought he was being considerate. To be clear, communication during sex is a great thing, but he was actually coming from a place of insecurity. And since she could sense this, she experienced it as pressure. It's like she had to manage his emotional state during sex, and that made her unable to focus on himself, which led her to start feeling invisible. When he learned to lead in bed and to bring calm and confidence and presence without needing to constantly check for validation, her desire increased because she could finally get out of her head and stop monitoring him. If you want to stimulate her mental engine, one of the best things that you can do is get curious about her. Ask her questions. Make her feel seen and wanted. Stop making her feel that she needs to prove anything or to be a certain way, and make sure that she knows that you're deeply attracted and interested in whatever she's bringing to the table. Now, for engine 5, the cultural engine, we need to zoom out, because what makes her want to have sex doesn't just have to do with the two of you. There are all sorts of social scripts and expectations that impact our desires and our ideas about sex. This is where the best lovers are extremely discerning, because sometimes sex is happening not out of desire, but out of a sense of should. If you want a healthy sex life, you don't want sex that comes from pressure. Sometimes women feel like they're failing if they don't have sex regularly or satisfy their partners. And if you don't have open communication around those things, sometimes she may want to have sex not out of desire, but because it's something she feels she should be doing. I've worked with couples where women have said yes to sex for years because they believed it was their job to keep their partner happy. And although those couples were technically having regular sex, it wasn't actually satisfying to either one of them. The moment where these women understood that they were allowed to want it or not, everything changed. Often the relationship doesn't get worse, it gets way better because it's more honest. And once pressure is out, real desire has a chance to return. Now, what can you as a man do if you're in this situation? It's pretty simple. If you can't tell whether she's an enthusiastic yes or a compliance yes, you slow down and get curious. And you make it explicitly safe for her to say no. You literally can say, you're allowed to say no, we can stop. And talk to her about the scripts that you both inherited. You can take it one step further and come up with something that is new and reflective of both of you. And when you do this, you actually connect way more deeply. And when she knows that she can say no whenever she wants, she opens herself up way more to genuine yeses. And finally, engine 6. The spiritual engine. This is the one that some people feel deeply and others don't relate to quite as much, but stay tuned. This is sex as something more. It's when a woman uses sex to reach a feeling of transcendence, of surrender, a sense of something bigger being created and expressed between you. This is not religious. This is experiential. It's when sex feels like a place where her mind quiets down and something deeper takes over, like the feeling of two becoming one. If you want to activate this, slow way down. Try sinking breath while making eye contact. Try literally worshiping each other's bodies. Try sex that feels spiritual. And while it might sound complicated at first, trust me, it is incredibly hot. And once you've had it, you're likely to want a lot more. So there are the engines. And if you're not getting the sex that you want, come back to this video and run this as a diagnostic tool. Ask yourself, is the physical engine off because you're both stressed or exhausted or disconnected from your bodies? Or maybe her mental engine is off because you haven't really been talking to her or getting curious about her or seeing her lately. Maybe the mental engine is jammed because sex has started to feel like a chore rather than experience. Whatever it is, it often takes just a few simple adjustments to get things back up and running. And remember, the best move is often to stop the guesswork and start a conversation. Ask her what gets in the way of her desire. Ask her what she wants more of, what shuts her down. Ask her which of these engines feels strongest for her. She'll probably have an answer. This is also why I'm saying that understanding your own desire is step one, because it gives you language and clarity, and it makes these conversations feel less like criticism and more like teamwork. That is a huge part of what my book, Harder, Better, Longer, Stronger, is built for, giving you a framework and vocabulary that makes intimacy easier to navigate without shame and without pressure. In it, I give you a step-by-step framework for understanding your own desire, performance, and sexual blocks, and exactly how to overcome them. You can order the book through the link below and everywhere that books are sold. Because yes, it's true, women's desire is multifactorial, but so is yours. You have engines too. And once couples understand desire like really deeply, and once they stop making it mean you're attracted to me or you're not, they get so much better and they're able to build a sex life that lasts. So if you want, tell me in the comments, which engine do you think is her go-to and which one is yours? I'm Caitlin B. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye.